This smartphone has a great display, good cameras, and an incredible 65-watt fast charging feature. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. My name is Leia, and in this video, we'll be talking about the Realme 7 Pro. But before we get to that, here's a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Now, for perspective guys, I'm gonna lead with the price. So the Realme 7 Pro is 17,990 pesos, and here in the Philippines, we're getting the one with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Without further ado, let's jump in, starting with the pros. I think that the biggest one would be the battery life and the super dart charging tech. Guys, the battery is 4,500 mAh, and for my usage, it can last me the whole day on a single charge. But what is really amazing is that 65-watt fast charging feature. You can go from 0 to 100% in just 34 minutes. That's even faster than the charging capacity of a lot of flagships out there. So if you're always on a rush, or you're always hustling, or you just forget to charge your phone a lot, this feature could come in really handy. Pro number 2 is the design. I know that this is very subjective, but I personally like how this smartphone looks. We got the mirror silver color variant, and I think that it looks subtle and classy at the same time. It's made out of plastic, which is pretty much Realme's material of choice in this series, and although it's light, it feels well made. It has nice contours, so it's fairly easy to grip even if you have small hands, and I like the fact that it's not so much of a smudge magnet, so I think it's one of the few smartphones that I'd be willing to use without a case, although it does come with a jelly case out of the box. But of course, if you are not very careful with your smartphones, then I suggest slapping that on, but I would hate to cover this nice, gorgeous body. Pro number 3 would be the cameras. It has a 64-megapixel Sony IMX682 primary shooter with an aperture of f1.8. You get an 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera and a 2-megapixel macro and black and white sensor. The style is very, should I say, 2020, as it comes in that rectangular camera module we're seeing in most of this year's releases. The selfie camera is housed in a tiny punch hole on the upper left part of the phone, and it's at 32 megapixels. Guys, here are our sample shots. The colors look realistic and not over-processed, although you can turn on AI dazzle color if you want it to be more vibrant. The details are there, there's portrait mode, and you can adjust the amount of bokeh depending on how much separation you want for your subject. The night shots are surprisingly good and very Instagram worthy. I would post them on my feed. The selfie camera could use better dynamic range, but with good lighting, you get pretty good results as well. For those of you who are wondering about the video capabilities of this smartphone, here's a sample clip with Ultra Steady mode on and with Ultra Steady mode off so you can compare. There's also bokeh for video, so you can really focus on the subject. Before we move on to the cons, let's quickly talk about the display, which is both an upgrade and a downgrade from the predecessor, which is the Realme 6 Pro. I know it sounds weird, but hear me out. It's an upgrade because compared to the Realme 6 Pro that had an FHD Plus IPS display, the Realme 7 Pro has a Super AMOLED display. Now, I love AMOLED displays, I've said that time and time again. It's just amazing. The display is bright, the colors are punchy, and you can clearly see the details. I'm definitely enjoying watching videos and all my favorite content on this smartphone. However, instead of the 90Hz refresh rate that you're getting on the Realme 6 Pro, the Realme 7 Pro is locked at 60Hz. Honestly, it's not a big deal for me because I would always pick a better panel over a faster refresh rate. However, I am not a mobile gamer, and mobile gamer might feel otherwise. Of course, it's better if we had both a 90Hz refresh rate and a Super AMOLED display, but I guess that this would affect pricing. I do have to say though that because it has an AMOLED display, it now has an in-display fingerprint scanner that's fairly fast and accurate. Moving on to the cons, still on the display, the one on the Realme 7 Pro is slightly smaller than the one on the Realme 6 Pro. It's 6.4 inches versus 6.6 inches on the predecessor. Just a slight difference, I know, so honestly, I'm not sweating it. The other thing would be the Gorilla Glass protection. The Realme 6 Pro has a Gorilla Glass 5 and the 7 Pro has a Gorilla Glass 3 Plus. I can't help but wish that they had at least kept the same level of protection. Last on my list of cons would be the processor. The Realme 7 Pro runs on a Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G processor with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of expandable storage. This is exactly the same processor that's on the Realme 6 Pro. I would have loved for it to have an upgrade, but having said that, the 720G is capable. It can handle day-to-day tasks, it can do multitasking, it can even do some gaming. So having weighed the pros and cons of the Realme 7 Pro, is this a smartphone that you would consider for 17,990 pesos? Guys, let me know in the comment section. Before I end this video, guys, let me quickly show you what's inside the box because, well, we want to know what we're getting. Aside from the phone, you also get a jelly case, the documents like the quick guide and the warranty, so make sure that you keep it, and there's a USB Type-C cable and a power brick that's significantly larger because of that super dart charge tech. For a quick tour of the device, you'll find the power button at the right, the volume rocker, triple card tray with dual SIM slots, and an SD card expansion slot. They're all at the left. At the bottom, you'll find the 3.5mm jack, and I know that a lot of people are still looking for this. There's a USB Type-C port and a single speaker grill that works pretty well for the price. And that's it for the pros and cons review of the Realme 7 Pro. Now guys, Realme released two more new products. That's the Realme 7 and the Buds Q. Jamie and Cholo prepared videos about those as well, and I will leave the link somewhere on screen or in the description box below. Do check it out. Again guys, the Realme 7 Pro is 17,990 pesos. It's officially available starting today on select SM stores, and I will leave the complete list on the description box below. And of course, you can also buy it from Lazada. Now guys, if you do want to pay in one go, I believe that there are also installment plans via home credit. And that's it for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. My name is Leia. Stay safe everyone. Bye!